Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Waharakak Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone and Royal. Peace and blessing salutations to the hopeful elect of Israel. Alright. This lesson is going to be on the RFID, or, another different type is NFC, which RFID is a radio frequency identification device. And the NFC is near field communication, all right, which is the mark of the beast. The RFID NFC microchip implant, all right, is the mark of the beast spoken about in Revelation chapter 13. Okay, this is an article from a little over a month ago. I remember seeing a video on it, how this a parent or parents of they're of students at specific high schools or middle schools or whatever in Texas, they, are being criticized by some other parents or students for, their students not taking the RFID. It was not the implant. It wasn't an implant yet, but it was a RFID ID card, all right? And it would track you, and they said they didn't want to do it. But truth be told, the government already knows where you are all the time somehow, and they can track you all the time. Okay, so quit acting like, it's a tracking device. The RFID chip is much more than a tracking device. Okay, the implant, you can use it to buy and sell, which proves that it's the mark of the beast spoken about in Revelation chapter 13. And I advise you not to take that chip. All right, not because, it tracks you or does this and that, because it's the mark of the beast, because you'll be destroyed, okay? You should not take that bullshit, all right? So don't take the mark of the beast, all right? It's direct orders from Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai not to take the mark of the beast, so do not take it, all right? If you're in this truth, and you're part of the hopeful elect, Lord willing, we are of the elect, and you're striving in this truth, and then do not take that damn chip, okay? I don't care if you're starving, if you're thirsty, if your family's going to leave you, this and that, if you don't take it. Do not take the chip, okay? There is a large variety of reasons why not to take it in terms of, what it is and all that. But Yahweh commands you not to take it, that means you don't take it. Okay? So I'm going to read this article, or a little bit of it anyways. It says, this was posted on... this was over a year ago. Salakia, I didn't realize that. I thought it said August 4th, 2018. This was over a year ago. Alright? So they've definitely advanced since then. Alright? Because they've been, trying to do this stuff for a while, but this just shows you. All right, this was posted a year ago. They're already doing stuff like this. They already have the RFID technology and everything. Okay. Now there's probably a lot of people that are probably getting that chip right now, and we don't even know about it. All right. But really, they're not even necessarily going to have to force you to take that chip, whereas they can just deceive you into taking it. Okay. Scriptures talk about if it were possible, they deceive the very elect. Matthew chapter 24, verse 24, for there shall arise false messiahs and false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. So the elect will not be deceived to take the chip. Okay? So, don't worry about if it's a tracking device, or just don't take the damn chip, man. All right, don't take it. You may have to be put to death if you don't take it, but do not take the chip, okay? That's a strict command, and there's no reason to take that shit, man. Do not take that shit, okay, because you'll be put to death. If you take that, you will be destroyed by nuclear fire, man. All right, which is far worse. Whatever Yahweh has planned for you, if you take that chip, is far worse than having men kill you, man. Okay? So let's just read some of this article anyways, even though it's, over a year old. Nonetheless, Okay? It's, that just shows you that if this was a year ago, then they've already made major advancements on it. Multiple schools in Texas have rolled out a new program that uses high-tech ID badges to make sure students actually get on the bus. The new badge system is called Smart Tag, which is designed to monitor exactly where and when students board or disembark on a bus. The device uses radio frequency identification (RFID) technology and Cloud Connect tablet computers that allow parents and schools to get real-time information via email. All right. I'm pretty sure in the video I saw, which, why don't I just play it? Salaki, I'm just going to play it. No, it was a 7-minute video, so this video is going to be kind of long, but I'm going to play it. I think, I'm just going to play this.
Shalom, shalom. I want to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Hamashiach, wa Malaki Awashai. Peace and blessings to all the Akim across the 4 corners of the globe, preaching and teaching this truth. Okay, so this is a short video concerning Bible prophecies, and as each day passes, the Bible prophecies are coming more and more into fruition. Okay, now this video is concerning the mark of the beast, the RFID chip. Very self-explanatory. Let's just get straight into the scriptures. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16. It says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads." Verse 17. "And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast."
Okay, you can watch this video yourself. I'm gonna skip to the parts that I want. But this was a really edifying video. I want to get to this right here.
Schools are now enforcing mandatory RFID chipping on your children. Okay, so this is no joke. These are the Bible prophecies coming into fruition, and they're coming for your children. Okay, so with that, let's get straight into this video.
We are back on the InfoWars Nightly News, and we're going to deal now with an issue that is so important for the future of humanity. It is so central to the reason this country was founded, the basic ideas of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, of religious freedom, of being an individual in an age where we've been conditioned to accept technology creeping up on us. We're always wowed and amazed and wooed by the new cool things technology can do, and we're always just trained to ignore the fact that it's converging on a point of tracking us in a total control grid. Every piece of technology is leading up to this. It's integrating. This kind of technology started with the adoption of social security numbers and other IDs, but it is now at the point of total high tech. It's being pushed on school kids, other vulnerable groups, people who haven't reached the age of consent, who don't yet have the wisdom to say no to this. But one family is saying no. We need so many more families to join them in that fight. We are joined now by the Hernandez family. They're in San Antonio saying no to the school that wants them to mandatorily wear an ID badge with an RFID tracker inside of it. Thanks for joining us, Steve the father, Andrea at school there, and John Jay, and of course your son as well. Thanks for coming in.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So tell us about the specific program that's being introduced and some of the major issues going on in San Antonio, which, by the way, is being rolled out all across Texas and all across the nation. Right now it's kind of in tester beta programs, but they want to expand it. So.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. This program is being implemented at John Jay High School and Anson Jones Middle School, the only 2 schools with the lowest attendance rate in the city. They're putting RFID tracking chips in their kids' badges. They want to make it mandatory, and they want to make the rest of the school district pick it up. And there's 112 schools in that school district.
So they're starting with 2, but it's going to 112 schools.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Just in San Antonio.
Just in San Antonio, just in the NISD school district. They're making it mandatory that the kids have to wear it. If not, they cannot participate in certain programs at school. They cannot get their lunch or check out library books if they don't wear these badges. And we stood up and said, no, absolutely not, because we felt like it stepped on our religious freedom.
Right.
And when we got back into town, we got this letter from the NISD board saying that on August 10th, that this is when this letter was dated, that the kids would start wearing these badges, and they sent it out really close to the day that the kids had to go get their badges and register for school, because they didn't want any arguments, they didn't want anybody to resist it. But unfortunately for them, I resisted. I went on my local news station. I said, no, my daughter will not wear this badge. They had already done a story and said, hey, we want to talk to you more about it. And now we are here today with you on your show to speak more about this.
And we do have a clip from that news piece, so let's go to that right now, and then we'll come back and enlarge the discussion.
Starting tomorrow.
All right, so that's the point. See, when I looked up, this RFID in Texas schools, it gave me outdated articles. They don't want you to know that they're doing this stuff, all right? Because they want to move quick. They want to, because they've been gradually building up to this for a long, long time. They want to move quick. They want to be undetected, and they want to kind of just slip it under the table, okay? So the article we saw was over a year old, but that just shows that that's how close they were before. And now you heard the guy say that they're making it mandatory for them to get it, put in an ID, not implanted yet, but to have the chip on them, nonetheless. Okay? Which is the mark of the beast, because they're going to take that chip and they're going to put it in your skin or under your skin. Okay? That's what they're going to do. That's what they will do. Okay? Thus saith the Bible. All right? Not me. Well, I am saying that, but I'm saying that's what the Bible says, right? It says they're going to put it in your hand, in your forehead, wherever you get it, but do not get it, okay? I'm telling you not to get it, all right? Because they will put you up against the wall, and they will, force you to fall into temptation, but you need to resist, okay? So if that article was over a year old, just imagine how far they've advanced since then, man. RFID technology is all around you. That's why when people get that chip, their phone automatically works with it already, because their phone already has that technology in it. Smartwatches, all this. They have gradually been building up to this moment where they're going to make the chip mandatory as an implant. And if you do not take it, you will be marked as a terrorist, and you will be a threat to society, and they will come for you, and they will lock you up in a FEMA camp, and they will kill you. Okay? Or whatever, Yahweh has for you down the road. All right? For you specifically. But because the elites work with something called gradualism, which is gradually introducing somebody to something to the point where they eventually get used to it. Okay? Because notice that, they went from cash to credit cards. Now the credit cards, they had a chip that you would slide in. Now you just, swipe it, or you scan it over something. They're getting used to scanning items, the self-checkouts. They're getting you used to having an RFID chip in you. Okay? So let's go let's read the scripture. Why not? Revelations chapter 13. You already heard a little bit of it, but we're going to read it. Start at verse 16. The point, just get straight to it. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might. Well, hold on, let me break that down first. And he causeth all. That's like he said, self-explanatory. Right? He was talking about how self-explanatory it is. Okay, everybody. Doesn't matter, what your race is, what your income is, if you're in jail, if you've been in jail, if you're a student at college or a high school, middle school, whatever. All right. You're a doctor, you're a pharmacist, you're, a construction worker, you work at McDonald's, it doesn't matter, all right? They're going to have you get this chip, okay? And it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So if you don't get this mark of the beast, this RFID NFC microchip implant, you will not be able to buy anything. To make purchases, you will not be able to sell merchandise. You will not be able to do anything. You will be an outcast. You will have to live on the grid, okay? Off the grid. All right, let's go into the word charagma, which is the word there in the Greek. Okay, charagma is an engraved, etched, branded, or inscribed mark or sign. Closest to the original sense is the earliest example, and then it goes on to say, denotes the bite of a snake. Now this is what I pulled up. I pulled up a snake fangs. You see how, so imagine if a snake were to bite you, but only with one fang, right? For some reason, it only bit you with one fang, whether, it only got one part of you, it just went to the side, you like moved or something, or it only had one fang because it lost the other one. Whatever the case may be, that's what this is like, all right? It's sharp, and they would stab it in you like a needle, like a fang, and they would inject a chip into you. What does a snake do? It injects venom in you. What is this doing? Injecting a chip in you. This chip is like venom. All right, if you get it, you will die. Okay? And also it goes into how it's an engravement, or engraved, etched, branded. All right, so it's not going to be something on top of your skin. It's going to be something put in your skin. All right, that's why it says in your hand or in your forehead. Okay? Not on your forehead, not on your hand, in. Okay? Which is literal, in your hand. Okay? Not every, Bible verse is literal. Not every Bible verse is really deep. Sometimes it's just straight up. And this is an example of straight up. All right? It's in your hand. Usually it's between your thumb and your index finger in that fleshy area. That's usually where people tend to get it. All right? But you know where you're going to get it? Nowhere. Because you're not going to take it. All right? Do not take this chip. Okay? Lord willing, we can resist the temptation to take this chip, all right? Because, we're coming into serious times, and like I was going into last lesson, I feel like these type of things will have a domino effect, all right, and bring on more and more type of catastrophes and atrocities and prophecies, okay? So I went into the etymology of grave because it talked about etched or grave. When you go into graven or grave, it goes in a grave, tomb, ditch. But then it says to dig, but the part, to scratch, to scrape. But what I was looking at was, let me find it real quick. Engrave. Well, if you dig a grave, you dig a hole, or you put a hole in the ground and then you put something in it, right? And then you put dirt back over. Just like they would inject you with it. They would put a Band-Aid over it or whatever, and it would heal back, and that chip would be in your skin. They just buried the chip in your skin, okay? Because it says to dig, carve, to dig up, engrave. Where was it? Slovakia. Well, yeah, I mean, they're going to bury the chip in your skin. That's self-explanatory. Well, yeah, that's self-explanatory. I mean, it's not, the exact wording that you'd necessarily hear, but they're burying the chip in your skin. They're going to dig it in by putting it in with that fang, and then they're going to inject it in you, and then they're going to put something over it to stop the bleeding. Okay? Salakia, there was a specific word. Well, I mean, it's digging in your flesh, really. To dig, engrave, to dig, delve, engrave. All right, but the point is there, all right? It's clearly something physical that they're going to put in you. It's not Christianity. It's not an embargo. It's not any of that nonsense, okay? It's a literal implant chip, okay? This right here, that's an example of the chip that they would inject into your hand with that, right? So, and also they showed you this in a TV show. I watched it a while back because the elder or brother Kazak from the YouTube channel Yahushua is coming back, put video, I think, with some other brothers on that show, okay, or with a brother, and the show is called, I think it's called 100. Yeah, the 100. I think it was, what season is it? I think it was season 3. Yep. Or wait. Well, mainly season 3. It's about this thing, and it's like a chip, all right? It's something that they would force you to get, okay? At first it was, optional. They were just kind of deceiving people and convincing people into taking this chip, which they would swallow, all right? But eventually it got to the point where so many people were getting it, and that it was becoming mandatory that if you didn't get it, they would torture you, all right? They would crucify you, or they'd beat you up, or, whatever. They would torture you, use these tactics, all right, get in your mind. And then they would force you to take that chip, okay? That's just like now. So if you come into the point where you are facing Esau, and he says either you take this chip or you die, you take death, okay? Because that's actually prophecy in itself, that people would die for not taking the chip, all right? Revelations 20:4, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, which is the true name of the Son, and for the word of Yahweh, which is the name of the Father. All right, it's the Father over the Son, and no, they're not the same entity. And which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Hamashiach, or Hamashiach, which means the anointed. All right, 1,000 years. Okay, let's go to Revelations 14. Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Okay, so do not take that chip. Okay, do not take this chip. Okay, do not take that. All right? Don't take this RFID NFC microchip implant. Okay? Do not. So, Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. Lord willing, we are of the elect. I want to give all praises to Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahushai, Waharakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone Ruel. Peace and blessing, salutations to the hopeful elect of Israel. All right, keep pushing. Don't take that chip. Shalom.